All right, Kathy, thank you. And we're continuing to take a look at the live pictures coming in now from KPRC. Just a deluge there in the city of Houston, in and around the city of Houston. And taking you out to live radar now, we'll notice a few showers still in the vicinity, but we are getting a bit of a break. Now, the bad news is we could see some more rain later on this afternoon and this evening, which is just going to kind of add to that misery. But for the flash flood issues, it looks like things are starting to settle down just a bit. If we track this out here, it's 9 a.m. We'll see some more rain coming through by around lunchtime, and then perhaps even a few more scattered showers coming in even around the evening rush. But you'll notice here by midnight, certainly the bulk of the moisture is well out to sea and offshore, so that won't be something to worry about once again tomorrow morning. I also want to take you now into Mississippi. We have a flash flood warning here for Washington County. That includes Arcola and Hollandale, right near Yazoo City here. You see some very heavy pockets of rain continuing to push in throughout the area. Really all across the southeast, we're dealing with just rounds and rounds of storms, and unfortunately it's going to be a week-long event. Birmingham also getting hit right now with some pretty heavy rain coming in right across I-20 as we speak, and Atlanta also getting the rain this morning, even up into Virginia, North Carolina, looking at the front end of this boundary, which is stalled out basically all across the south, and that is part of the equation when it comes to all of this moisture, this abundant moisture we're going to be seeing here throughout much of the week here in the southeast. We're taking a look at the water vapor imagery. You can clearly see here in Houston the green here, and that was a lot of that rain already that has come through the area. Some dry air working its way in orange, but nonetheless plenty of moisture here in the atmosphere to work with, and we also have a couple of triggers that will just be aiding all of that. We have the stalled front here, okay, so that's causing the focus of these thunderstorms, and then just a tremendous amount of moisture already in place right here along the Gulf Coast. So for that reason, we're going to see storms not only today, but certainly tomorrow, the next day, and so on. So maybe even through the weekend, looking like more scattered showers and storms. So for today, for you in Houston, again, probably a bit of a break, but then starting to dry out a little bit, more rain coming in around lunch, then more scattered storms tomorrow, even into Thursday, all the way up into the Carolinas now, the Tennessee Valley as well, Florida getting wet, Atlanta, Georgia, all the way along the Gulf Coast, I-10, here we go again on Friday. So you're going to be kind of sick of the rain by the end of the week here in the southeast, that's for sure. This is Saturday. Again, storms that are going to be more scattered in nature for you nonetheless. The sun is not going to be making an appearance probably anytime too soon. So how much rain still to come? Of course, we're going to be on the lookout, right, for the flash flooding. That's going to be an issue throughout the week likely in these parts. But taking a look here at the rain still to come, this is through Friday evening, by the way. Certainly in and around the Houston area, not looking so good, 3 to 5 inches. We already know that Houston, you've picked up more rain than that in some parts of the county, Harris County. Also some areas here in Alabama, you could see some pretty significant rain. That would be more in the 3 to 5 inch range, but in general, 1 to 2, 2 to 3 inches here across the deep south as we move through into the weekend. So for Atlanta, Georgia, still looking at some more thunderstorms today, tomorrow, the next day, and so on. Now, it's not going to be all day events. We will get some breaks here in Atlanta, but certainly going to be a soggy week ahead. By Saturday, we start to see things improve just a bit here with some hit or miss thunderstorms coming your way in the ATL. What about Charlotte? Well, looking at rain certainly for today. Now, tomorrow in through Thursday, mostly cloudy conditions, so you get a little bit of a break as well, but then more showers, more thunderstorms coming in on Friday. Last night, and it does have the chance to actually re-strengthen, possibly even become a hurricane once it gets over the Yucatan and back into the Bay of Campeche. So let's take a look at Franklin. Here it is right here. It is now moving across the Yucatan as we speak. So winds oh, we're going to start back here. I'm sorry. Let's go back to Invest 99L. This is the other one that we're watching. Okay, so this is going to be one that could be pretty interesting by the time we get to about midweek. This is still well out to sea. It is about 800 miles east of the Lesser Antilles right now. Winds are at 30. But with this one, we could certainly see some development, about a 30% chance. That's what the National Hurricane Center is giving it. It's generally going to move off in this direction here, and 5-day development is certainly possible. Now, again, not a huge chance of that, but some of the models do take it just off the eastern U.S., right offshore here by the time we get into next week. The European model makes it a little stronger, a little bigger. The GFS, or the American model, keeps it a little tamer. So we're going to have to wait and see. It's certainly got its work cut out for it, though. We've got some very unfavorable conditions over the next several days. So the Yucatan coast, including Cozumel and Cancun throughout the day today. So as we take a look here at Franklin, it did make landfall. This was about 85 miles. It's currently about 85 miles northwest of Chetumal, Mexico. Winds are now at 45, so it is weakening as we expected as it moves across land. Pressure at 999 millibars. It's moving off to the west-northwest here, right across the Yucatan at about 14 miles per hour. Now, the thing about Franklin, as it reemerges here in the Bay of Campeche, it is expected to strengthen once again, and it's not out of the question that it could even reach hurricane status. So it will be interesting to see. We still have those tropical warnings up from Chetumal to Cancun, Cozumel, back around to Campeche, and then tropical storm watches all the way over to Veracruz, where as of the current track, it looks like it could make perhaps another landfall if things go as planned. So taking a look at the forecast here, looking at Tuesday evening, so this evening likely re-emerging here in the waters and then maybe reaching up to 70 miles per hour. So that would just be just below hurricane strength. Some of the models make it even stronger than that. Nonetheless, the big thing with this is going to be the rainfall coming in here, probably to the Veracruz area up toward Tampico or just south of Tampico, Mexico. So a lot of rain, a lot of flooding will be the main impacts with this storm. Hurricane watches again extend from Veracruz up to Tampico. So this will be Franklin over the next few days, and we're going to be watching that for you. When we take a look at some of the rainfall, this is through Friday evening, by the way, looking at maybe a foot of rainfall here in the Tampico area just south of that. So that will certainly be causing some problems there in the area.